Once upon a time, in the heart of Taif, where Arab tribes were known for their courage and eloquence, and where deserts forged men, in the late 7th century AD, a boy was born named Muhammad ibn al-Qasim. Muhammad grew up in a distinguished family from the Thaqif tribe, which was renowned for leadership and administration. His uncle al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi was one of the prominent leaders and governors of the Umayyad state, which provided him with a fertile environment for the growth of his passion for military leadership and administration from an early age. From his childhood, Muhammad was not like his peers. While other children played, he spent long hours learning the arts of combat, horsemanship, and military planning. His keen eyes caught the finest details in battle tactics, and his young mind sought to understand the secrets of leadership and influence. He possessed sharp intelligence, rare courage, and wisdom beyond his years, which made him one of the most prominent young commanders in the Umayyad state. Muhammad believed that faith and determination were the keys to victory, and that a true leader possessed military insight and the ability to turn the tide of battle, in addition to the ability to administer the affairs of the conquered lands with justice and mercy. Therefore, he decided that his life would be a journey in the arts of war and administration, combining individual skill with strategic planning. In the prime of his youth, the pivotal moment in Muhammad ibn al-Qasim's life arrived in 89 AH 708 AD at merely 17 years old. His uncle al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi entrusted him with a great mission, leading an army to conquer the lands of Sindh, modern-day Pakistan, which was then under the rule of King Dahir, and was known as a stronghold for Buddhists and Hindus, and an important trade route. This mission was arduous and fraught with dangers, requiring patience, wisdom, and adaptability, especially since it was his first major leadership assignment. The journey to conquer Sindh began with a small army, about 6,000 fighters. This mission was arduous and fraught with dangers, passing through barren deserts, rugged mountains, and unknown territories. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim and his companions faced countless challenges: the harshness of nature, scarcity of provisions, the strength of the Sindh army, and the siege of fortified cities. The long nights he spent planning, and the nights he spent confronting formidable fortresses, were proof of his patience and courage. Key locations in the conquest of Sindh: Makran, the first region conquered by Muhammad ibn al-Qasim on his way to Sindh. Daybol. It was a fortified coastal city, and its siege took some time. It is said that Muhammad ibn al-Qasim used the giant catapult, Al-Ruz the Bride, to breach its walls, which showed his mastery in military engineering. After its conquest, Muhammad ibn al-Qasim showed great tolerance towards its people, which encouraged many to embrace Islam or remain on their religion while paying jizya tribute. Naroun, another city conquered by Muhammad ibn al-Qasim, where he showed the same tolerance and justice. Battle of the Indus River, Battle of Roa. This battle was decisive and pivotal. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim's army faced the massive army of King Dahir. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim displayed unparalleled military genius in this battle. Pre-planning, he studied the nature of the terrain and the strength of the enemy. Inspiring leadership, he fought in the front lines, igniting his soldiers' enthusiasm with his courage. Elephant warfare. He faced the Sindh army, which relied on war elephants, and used clever tactics to confuse the elephants and remove them from the battle. Patience and steadfastness. The battle lasted for several days, during which the Muslims showed legendary patience and steadfastness. Decisive attack. At the critical moment, Muhammad ibn al-Qasim launched a concentrated attack on the heart of Dahir's army, leading to his death and the collapse of his army. The Muslims achieved a crushing victory in this battle, which opened the way for the complete conquest of Sindh. Conquest of Multan, the last major city conquered by Muhammad ibn al-Qasim in Sindh, known as House of Gold due to its abundance of gold. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim's military and administrative tactics were characterized by courage and daring. He advanced in the front lines and did not fear confronting enemies. Intelligence and cunning. He was skilled at using deception and misdirection to confuse the enemy. Flexibility and adaptability. He was able to quickly change his plans according to the developments of the battle or circumstances. Engineering, planning. He skillfully used war machines and planned sieges intelligently. Justice and tolerance. After the conquest, he treated the people of the land with justice and mercy, and preserved their religious freedoms, which earned him their respect and loyalty. Administrative vision. He was not merely a conqueror but also a successful administrator, organizing the land, establishing justice, and encouraging agriculture and trade. Despite all these victories, the human side of Muhammad ibn al-Qasim, or Thaqafi's life was prominent. He was a devout, humble young man who loved Allah and his messenger and prioritized obedience to Allah above all else. He was keen on being just with people and developing the lands he conquered. He is credited with building mosques, securing roads, and developing agriculture and trade in Sindh. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim was known for his love of knowledge and scholars, and he encouraged the dissemination of knowledge in the conquered lands. He treated his soldiers kindly and shared their hardships, which earned him their love and loyalty. Among his famous sayings, though not many are recorded from him, indeed, victory is but an hour's patience. This shows his wisdom in battles. Justice is the foundation of kingship. This shows his administrative vision. After completing the conquest of Sindh, consolidating Muslim control over it, and establishing justice there, Caliph Sulaiman ibn Abd al-Malik ordered him to return to Iraq. This return was fraught with difficulties, as some of his opponents in the Umayyad court tried to undermine him, especially after the death of his uncle al-Hajjaj. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim suffered a severe ordeal. He was accused of injustice, imprisoned in Wasit, Iraq, tortured, and then died in prison at the age of barely 23. It was a tragic end for a great commander, who had served his nation with devotion and conquered vast lands in the prime of his youth. He felt wronged and pained, but he accepted it with patience and faith. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim, or Thaqafi, departed in body, but his leadership spirit and his imprint on Islamic history remained alive, inspiring generations. His story is the story of a human being who transformed from a young man into a great commander who conquered vast lands. The story of a leader who was never defeated in battle, and who left a legacy of conquests and administration that changed the face of history. The story of Muhammad ibn al-Qasim, or Thaqafi, teaches us that sincere faith can transform a person and enable them to achieve the impossible, and that determination and perseverance are the keys to achieving victory even in the most difficult circumstances. It reminds us that true leadership lies not in age, but in insight and the ability to inspire people and achieve great goals. Muhammad ibn al-Qasim was a model of the brilliant military and administrative leader who combined courage and wisdom, and left an indelible mark on the history of human civilization. Let generations be inspired by the story of this great commander, and let them follow his courage and sincerity, and let them know that true victory is the victory of the spirit over despair, and that knowledge is the light that illuminates the paths of darkness and reveals the secrets of leadership and triumph.